Let's talk about the Supreme Court decision dealing with job discrimination. This is a very important decision, certainly. Is this that kind of discrimination against the LGBTQ community prevalent here in Las Vegas, in the hospitality industry, just kind of broadly around the valley?
Broadly, no. Nevada's above and beyond. In 1999, we put in legislation that started this whole process. And then 2011, we got trans people to be on the same law. So what the United States Supreme Court has done recently, Nevada's been way far ahead. And I think that's because of the unions and the hospitality industry. Las Vegas is a very diverse workforce, racially diverse, LGBTQ diverse. It's ahead of the game. Nationwide, it's ahead of the game.
Do you, acknowledging that Nevada is, as you say, kind of ahead of the curve on this, do you envision anything different moving forward that might be addressed up in Carson City, that might be addressed by some of the corporations here in town? Anything else that they could do to improve their relationship with the LGBTQ community?
So it's my understanding, I'm not huge into politics, but I'm learning more and more each day. It's my understanding they're currently working on removing the language in the state's constitution that bans gay marriage because it's no longer needed to be there, obviously, because gay marriage is legal. And that's the same thing with the Constitution amendments for the workforce. So it's just now changing wording to make it be equal and fair, like there wasn't an issue in the past, almost. Kind of like statutes, right? Let's get rid of them for a little bit and focus on what we have now.
Okay. Well, let's talk business then. What have been the challenges that you've seen in the community about just trying to get back, find some solid footing given the coronavirus?
So with the industry that I'm in, it's hospitality. We service a lot of the resorts, restaurants, nationwide, same thing. So as the city started to open up, we're definitely going out and we're looking at what's happening. It's different everywhere, right? Everybody on the ownership side is taking every precaution to make the consumer feel safe. Now, once you're inside, what that consumer wants to do is pretty much the reason they're here, right? They're here to have a good time. So it's been interesting to watch how the employees are reacting to it, how the guest is reacting to it, and what's the new norm. The good news is everything seems pretty busy. The last 3 weeks, we're on an uptick with visitors. Many of them are driving in. Our weekends are strong, and more resorts are opening up. With that, more restaurants, more local. I believe you might be familiar with downtown. Many of the restaurants downtown got to open up a month ago because it was much easier than opening up inside of a casino. And they're all doing very, very well right now. They're being supported by the community. So I see positive things happening.
You know, there was such a clamor, certainly we saw from Mayor Goodman, but broadly speaking, to reopen Las Vegas. And now we're seeing Governor Sisolak put into place this mask mandate. Cases are what they are. But from a business standpoint, did Las Vegas open too soon?
I don't believe Las Vegas opened too soon. And I'm not totally, I think, the mayor had a good point. We did need to open. She just didn't have a plan to discuss at the time of the questions, right? So the city was and still is trying to figure out what's that plan. So we're being fluid and we're adjusting. If a person or a guest wants to come to Las Vegas or anywhere for that matter, we're here for them, right? That's what we do. So no, I don't think it opened up too soon. I know we have a rise in testing, but if we stay on top of it and manage it, I think we have what's considered the safest city health-wise standards in the world,
And staff that you work with at various establishments, they feel safe?
I'm not having one-on-one conversations with everybody on the property, so I can't speak for everybody at the property level.
Fair enough. Let's talk about Pride Month. What should the community do? What is being done to help gay and lesbian businesses improve their business, get more attention, and just sort of succeed as this pandemic is sort of lingering around?
So first of all, you can go to our website, right? And you can check out all the gay and lesbian owned businesses here in Las Vegas, Nevada. You can support every small business, and that's what we just touched base on. The city has always supported the city. We're a great community. And whether it's a gay, lesbian owned business or it's a straight business or a diverse business, whatever you want to call it, it's our community, it's our business, and everybody seems to be supporting it. So for Pride Month, what I love about the gay community, the LGBTQ community, is we support all diversity, right? So with Black Lives Matter going on, I know a lot of the Pride events are actually including Black Lives Matter events and supporting that cause and getting the word out and the voice out. So it's not so selfish where we're sharing our time and getting that message out, because it's about fairness for everyone. It's about equality for everyone. And I think this Pride Month, it's about the LGBT community putting our voice behind all communities.
And you briefly touched on the restaurants, whether it's downtown, casinos, et cetera, and how they're getting more busy as the weeks go on here. Are there other sectors of LGBTQ businesses that are seeing that increase or are coming back, bouncing back stronger? Are there others that are maybe struggling a little bit right now?
So like all small businesses, some of our sectors are taking off. We have lawyers, we have realtors, we have doctors, we have dentists. Some of our bigger companies, like my company, we're tied into the resort corridor. So those businesses are going to take a lot longer to come online, if they come back online at all, or if we could survive that. So luckily with PPP and loans, many of those businesses are still alive and kicking. They're pivoting, but they're being affected. And that's for all of the strip-related businesses, which is about 85% of Las Vegas's economy. So some of them are doing great, and many of us not so much.
So then, when you talk to other members of the chamber, how far ahead can they look to whether it's recovery or survival? How much are they scrambling just to sort of stay above water right now? And when do they think maybe they can breathe a little easier?
So we had our last meeting 2 weeks before COVID. The chamber has been about 1 year strong, and we went from 7 members to over 60 in our first year, and about 10 of the city's largest corporations have joined. So our momentum, along with everybody else's in the economy, was going up. Our next meeting is in 10 days on July 2nd. We have a great guest speaker, the Nevada State Treasurer. We have questions being submitted now to what we could ask the Nevada State Treasurer. And that meeting should be pretty productive. It's 2 meetings in one. It's our annual board meeting, and it's also our mixer. So we expect about 50 to 60 people in what we're calling a socially responsible social distancing mixer.
Well, what question do you have for the treasurer? What do you want? What piques your interest?
Well, I think, when I look at my personal business, financial solvency is the key, right? So you have to adjust everything we do. You forecast, you wonder what's going on. And I think a lot of us live in the now when it comes to business, but we really have to think long-term. So I'm going to ask the treasurer, what is the long-term? It's my understanding we're at least a third, maybe more, within 2 months of not making our budget or having a budget shortfall for the state. That's going to affect us in 3, 6 months and the next 3 years. So for me, I want to know what the state is looking at in advance to make sure we get through this system.